No, I don't like this song. Let's see, maybe this one? I've been feeling a little stuck. Well, more than a little, actually. Why does my voice sound like that? No, this is not it. This is so freaking I've messed up. I've been pouring out my creative ideas without realizing that my reserves are running low. Now I'm left with an empty cup and no new ideas. Or simply put, I'm in a creative rut. Now, as much as I'd like to pretend that this is a rare occurrence, it absolutely isn't. The first thing you should know about being in a creative rut is that it's, in most cases, inevitable. It's just part of the creative cycle. And it also happens to be where I've been roaming around for the past few weeks. And I think it's time to get out of it. But before I can do anything else, I need to fix this. It's been a rough couple of months. Winter and all that. And usually my space reflects my mental state quite well. So as you can tell, it's been a little bit rough. But we're gonna fix it. Right now. I know it probably sounds so cliche, but a clear space really does mean a clear mind. Whenever I find myself deep into a project, I usually don't really take care of anything else. My space becomes a mess, my mind becomes a mess. So the first step is to just start fresh. Clean out my physical space, make room for more mental space, and also take care of my digital space. When I'm going through a bit of a rough patch, it becomes a total mess. I don't really know where half of my files are, what footage belongs to what project, and, well, whatever all of this is. One of my favorite ways to declutter and organize my digital space is through Clean My Mac, the sponsor of today's video. I've actually been using Clean My Mac for the past 5 or 6 years. Back in 2019, I had a laptop that just completely randomly died on me one day and I lost everything. When I got my new laptop, I figured I have to prioritize the health of my laptop and at least understand when there is a problem and how I can fix it before something like this happens again. And that's when I stumbled across Clean My Mac. It makes it so easy to ensure that your computer is performing as it should with just a click of a button. Their Smart Care feature allows you to perform an extensive scan of your whole laptop, showing you what you can do to optimize the memory and performance of your laptop, while its remaining features allow you to take a closer look at more specific concerns. Whether it's the cleanup feature, which cleans up any unnecessary junk or cache files, their My Clutter feature sorts through your storage to delete your unneeded files and brings the mess down to a minimum, as well as a protection feature that ensures your Mac is not at risk of any threats or viruses. My laptop ultimately is my job in a way, so I really can't afford to lose what's on there, lose what it allows me to do, and so maintaining its health and its performance is really important. You can try Clean My Mac for free for 7 days and use my code Ottilie for 20% off using the link in my description. We're going on a little date. I'll explain. So, I've been reading this book called The Artist Way by Julia Cameron. I only recently started it, but one of the concepts that they talk about is an artist date. And when I first read about it, the explanation just really struck with me, because essentially what an artist date is you take yourself for a day and you do something creative. And to be honest, I don't remember the last time I did anything like that. I think the struggle is when you do something creatively as your job, you don't really seek out a lot of creative pursuits outside of that. At least that's what I've experienced. And so what the artist date is meant to be is a way for you to be creative without any pressure, without any need for a certain end result, and just play around a bit with whatever it is that you're doing. I'm walking towards a lake right now, and I'm hoping to find some higher ground so I can sit there in the sun and make some little paintings. And I'm really excited. I haven't done anything like this in so long, but I've been wanting to do something like this for ages. I figured this was a good opportunity. It's so quiet. What I like about these little paintings is, in my head, they're kind of meant to be sort of done on the go and meant to be kind of imperfect. Very often it's kind of more meaningful in that sense. For example, my previous little painting, it's all smushed because I was in a shadowy spot just now when I was painting it, and all of the water in the paint froze because it's quite cold. So once the water in the paint started melting, it kind of made everything a bit blurry, which theoretically would make the painting kind of ruined, but I don't know. It's kind of fun to have these little backstories as to why certain things turned out certain ways. It's refreshing to not have to think about the outcome so much, because really the reason I'm doing this is just because it's so peaceful. Something I've been thinking about when it comes to being in a creative rut or, feeling stuck creatively is that really it's all about your mindset, which I think accounts for a lot of things in life. I think ultimately it's all about shifting your perspective or finding a sort of coping mechanism in a way. For example, whenever I'm late because, I don't know, I missed my bus or I missed my train or my toast burned or something like that, I always like to think it happened for a reason. And in a similar way, I think creative ruts and this creative resistance or these blocks that you experience are because you're about to enter this new phase of creativity. Like you're pushing through the old boundaries and coming into a new territory in a way. Which maybe sounds a bit silly, but I don't know. I feel like if you're stuck, you're gonna probably start experimenting with new things to try and get that spark back again. And a lot of the times that does mean that you're gonna end up pushing your boundaries a bit. So I like to tell myself that sometimes these creative ruts are just a sign that I'm about to level up creatively, which is a bit silly, but I don't know. It helps, so why not?
Ultimately, creativity is not a constant flow. It ebbs and shifts, and that's okay. Sometimes all you really need is a reset, a little space, and the courage to just try something new.
One of the things I've been doing for this video specifically and for the first time is shooting in C-Log, which is kind of daunting a little bit because one of the things I've been telling myself for this year is that I really want to learn more about color grading and get really good at it. It might sound a bit silly because it's such a small change, but it's really made me very excited about the editing process. I mean, sometimes, especially if you're feeling uninspired and unmotivated, the editing process can be a bit of a drag, but I've really found myself a lot more eager to get to editing because I'm so excited to start playing around with the color grading process. Which is interesting because I haven't felt that type of excitement for editing in quite some time. It's been interesting to see that such a small change can have such a big effect on my personal motivation. And I don't even know how it's going to turn out yet because I haven't color graded any of the footage yet, so I don't know if it's even going to turn out the way that I want it to. But the point is mostly that it's been getting me to create again and to edit again, and that's kind of exactly what I wanted. So, small changes. They can be pretty good.
If you're feeling stuck, remember that inspiration isn't lost. Creativity isn't lost. It's just waiting for you to change things up.